All right, we're at Raven. All right, so show me about some of the upgrades on your new camera.
Sure, so this is Raven Plus. It's our second iteration on the hardware. And some of the big differences is we've gone to one large screen.
Rather than the two smaller screens that are on the original, yep.
Yep. So we can display quite a lot more. And this is important for all the different metrics that we show on the screen.
Yep.
We plug in directly to the OBD port in a vehicle, so we get all the telematics from the car computer.
Sure.
And things like the level of the fuel tank, how fast the car is going, RPM, coolant temperature, even the cell strength, and how much storage is left on the device, that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So with Raven Plus, we've also made a few upgrades, and we're able to process, do a lot more compute processing on it. So we're able to leverage some new AI features, and we've been working with our partner Mapbox. So they have a Vision SDK that's able to detect in real time different driving events, especially on the safety side.
Sure.
So in this example, with the Vision SDK, we're able to do pedestrian and cyclist detection.
Yeah.
And that alerts the driver that there's pedestrians and cyclists nearby in close proximity to the vehicle, and to be alert.
So it brings up that box obviously on the video.
Yep.
Do you get an alert on with you in the vehicle?
Raven. And but then for a fleet management solution, an event's generated with the safety warning where the fleet manager can then go in and review to see what
they can see all the tagged events and then bring up that.
Bring up the video, see exactly what happened, and see if the driver was paying attention or not at the time.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, and then that's on the road camera, and on the cabin cam, we also apply AI to detect how many occupants are in the vehicle, and to automatically identify the driver.
Oh, nice.
And so once we identify the driver, we're able to associate all the data that's generated during that trip to the driver, and through our reporting framework, roll up reports that are driver-centric. So here you can see driver was detected. We do a green box around the driver's face.
Yep.
And in the reports, you can go in and select to do either vehicle or driver-based reports. We go into the driver.
Oh, you can actually bring up the actual driver. Oh, that's crazy awesome.
And then we can further drill down into the trip details for each trip and see exactly what driving events occurred during that trip. And we can do other things like driver then vehicle. So if I drove a cargo van and a work truck, then it divides it out. And then further to that, we also support geofencing. So you're able to create any number of geofences, and again, the alerts will happen when you enter and exit a geofence. So if we want to make a new geofence, you're able to select anywhere on the map, select the size of it. You can put in an address or a point of interest to pinpoint it over top. And then you can change the color. You can get notified when you enter or exit. You can change the location, and most importantly, when it deletes. So it might never delete, it might delete at the end of the day, or you can set up a custom time. And that's really important for work sites.
Yep.
But then you can change these, you can edit the name of the geofences at any point in time, and we basically keep a version of it, so it's always available within the reporting.
Sure, yeah.
And if these alerts are important to fleet managers, because it's often a gauge of where their workers are at in the respect to their work day.
Of course.
So for one example would be having geofences around all the building supplies in a city. Fleet manager knows work trucks going to get supplies for the day, and they're headed to the work site.
Yep.
So if they're headed to the building supply place at afternoon, then they know their workers behind schedule.
Sure.
Another example is with idling. So we see this guy entered the geofence and then was idling. So sure, he's on the work site, but is he actually doing work?
Yep.
So you click on the event, and no, worker's reading a magazine. And what's interesting with this is we provide the ability for the fleet manager to message the driver directly through the display with dispatch messaging. Now, you can type in any message you want. We have some pre-canned ones to make it easy. So the guy's reading a magazine, let's tell him to call the office, and then you'll see on the screen here momentarily, call office.
Look at that.
And again, with the different AI capabilities we have, so let's say for tailgating, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. With the tailgating, the fleet manager would be alerted, and then there again is an opportunity to use the dispatch messaging to tell the driver in real time, drive safely.
Sure, yeah.
Go back to that. And we also have accident detection. So here's an accident that Raven caught. Car got sideswiped and took off. And with the video footage, the driver was able to get the license plate and call it into the police and report it.
Fantastic.
It's another example of an accident. This is a car running a stop sign. So that white car ran the stop sign, hit this car.
Yep.
We also detect speeding. So we monitor with GPS which road segment the vehicle's on, and then we're able to look up through our cloud services the speed limit for that segment.
And you can put in, like, you can adjust what's the trigger point, right? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And got some other footage. So if we go back to, sorry, just looking for the tailgating one. There we go.
Idling, harsh braking.
So here's an example of using AI to notify about tailgating. So you'll see alert on here, keep safe distance. And this AI runs on Raven itself in real time, so it generates that event, reports it up to the cloud, alerts the fleet manager. The fleet manager can come in and see if the driver is paying attention or not, and again, use that dispatch messaging.
So a lot of, I mean, obviously you upgraded the back end, the cloud side of things, but you also upgraded the sensors, you upgraded the display.
Yep.
Are the cameras enhanced as well, the microphones?
Yep, yeah, on the camera side, we've increased the sensitivity of the night vision for viewing inside of the cabin by quite a bit. It's like we've doubled the sensitivity with that. And with the microphones, they're more acoustically isolated, and that sets us up for having a voice assistant on Raven.
That's awesome.
We also are getting into asset monitoring, so able to leverage Raven for tracking where your assets are.
Sure.
This is a very cheap PLE beacon, so this can be attached, like thrown in a toolbox or on a chainsaw, whatever it might be, and Raven acts as a PLE gateway that reports the last known position.
So when it was removed from the vehicle, you know when it was removed,
Yeah.
and then you can go back, oh, I left it at that job site.
Yeah,
That's pretty
exactly. So that fits in with the geofences too.
Sure.
When you have a job site and you're finished at that job site, geofence expires, and all of a sudden all these assets that were left behind, you get notified that they've exited the geofence, and you look in and you can see, oh yeah, we forgot our chainsaw there. Let's go grab it.
Well, that's awesome. That's some big upgrades. I can't wait to give that a try. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we'll have to get you one of these new ones.
Heck yeah.
Within the next few months.
That looks like some additional videos than I did the first time. So that's always a bonus to me, at least. I like doing videos, so
nice.
I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you very much for showing us.
Nice to see you,
awesome.